you should revise or you should read current affairs of at least 12 months from one magazine, and then you should revise those things multiple times. And if you are following one magazine, then you should follow that magazine only for the last 12 months. So that is very important. Hello everyone. Through this platform, I am going to share my UPSC strategy, and I'm going to share is stage wise, like what I have done in prelims and what I have done in mains and what I have done for interview. So I am going to be very brief, and so that if although everyone has its own strategy, but you can get some points from here and you can apply those things in your UPSC preparation. So first, what I have done for the prelims, and I will be sharing 4 or 5 points which are very important for prelims preparation. So my strategy was to have a very good grip on the core subjects. For me, core subjects was like polity, modern history, economics, environment, and art and culture, and so they are geography. So these are the 5 6 core subjects. If you have a very good grip on that, then the number of questions that are going to come from these 5 6 core subjects, it is around 50%. So if you have a very good grip on these core subjects, you are going to do well. The second thing was that you should know your syllabus, and then based on that your resources should be limited. From my personal experience, I can say that I have studied very few books, but I have revised those books multiple times. So based on your prelim syllabus or the overall syllabus of UPSC, you should limit your resources. That is very very important, because what I personally feel that in UPSC you should know what not to study. Otherwise, there is a vast resource are available, and if you are studying multiple books, then it is going to be very tough for you to revise. Third thing is that current affairs, you should revise or you should read current affairs of at least 12 months from one magazine, and then you should revise those things multiple times. And if you are following one magazine, then you should follow that magazine only for the last 12 months. So that is very important. And then the third important thing is that writing prelims test in classroom environment, because sometimes what happens, if you are writing test in your room or in your home, then the kind of environment which you need during the time of UPSC examination, you will not find out, and you will be very comfortable at your place. So for me it worked a lot. I used to write the prelims examination in the classroom environment, and then in the time bound manner. It is also very important, if the paper is of 2 hours, you should complete that in 2 hours, so that it like an exam. It is very important. Fourth or fifth thing is that don't ignore CSAT, because nowadays what UPSC is doing, it is making CSAT paper with tough. And I personally know a number of people who have qualified GS paper 1, but they are not able to qualify CSAT paper. So nowadays it has become very tricky. I am not saying you have to do a rigorous practice for CSAT, but at least you should have a basic knowledge of CSAT and what type of question they are asking, so that when you attend paper in exam, then you should not be in the panic mode. Okay, I am not able to find the answer of this question or that question. These things become very important. So these are the basic things which I have done for my prelims preparation, and it is very very brief. So this is the whole crux of my prelims strategy. And the second thing is that what I have done for mains. So mains strategy, basically I studied like that. I took the syllabus and then I studied, I've gone through all the what are the keywords, what are the topics mentioned in the syllabus, and then you should thoroughly understand and ensure that all topics of the syllabus is covered, and you have at least some notes on each and every topic that is mentioned in the GS syllabus, paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4. Same goes with your optional paper. So that becomes very important. If you have a write up on each and every topic, then you will feel confident. And then sometime what happens, that most of the people, they focus some on one area and then they neglect other areas. Like you focus lot, you give a lot of focus on the GS paper, then you are ignoring essay or you are ignoring your optional. So at least you should try to maintain a balance between GS paper, essay paper, and optional paper, because in the end the marks of every this subjects are going to be counted and aggregate marks will be calculated. So if you are ignoring one of those areas, then it is not good for you. You will not get that marks, or you will not get your desired rank in UPSC. So that is also very important. You have to be balanced, but sometimes like some focus, some extra focus can be given to those areas in which you think you are weak, like your optional subject, because that may be very scoring for you. And if you are scoring a very good marks in an optional, then that can be compensate your GS paper or essay paper. Third thing is that answer writing. Answer writing is the most important thing for UPSC exam or mains exam, and you should practice answer writing on a daily basis in time bound manner. From my personal experience, I am telling, I have started answer writing, and for like in 1 hour I used to write 2 questions in the very beginning, then I gradually scale it up, and then in the end after 6 or 7 months I used to write 6 to 7 questions in 1 hour. So it is not one day task. So rigorous practice for the answer writing is very important, and I think it is one of the most important things. I always say that prelims can't make you an IS officer, but if you are good at mains, definitely it is going to have a lot of impact and it can make you an IS officer. And the fourth thing is that mains test series. What happens that, okay, you are very good at writing and you are writing good answers, but how to assess those things? So for this, if you are enrolling in 1 or 2 test series, then you will write answers in the time bound manner. Then here what happens, you will have some peer comparison. Like if you are writing answers, then you will get marks, then you will know, okay, what other person have got, because this is the competition where you have to perform better than your peer. So if you are taking a test series, then evaluating yourself based on the overall pattern, based on the overall examination pattern, then definitely it is going to be beneficial. You will know what are your shortcomings, what are your weakness, where you have to focus a lot regarding your mains. So these things becomes important, and it gives a kind of competitive spirit in you if you are truly motivated for UPSC, because in the end you have to compete with a whole lot of people who are segregated all over the country. So at least you should know where you are lying, where your position is, and what are the areas where you have to work. Fifth thing is that for mains answer writing, after that, like one stage you have completed, you are good at, you are completing paper within time, and your answer is very structured. Then the next and important thing comes, how you are enriching your answers. For enriching your answer, you should know some kind of data, some kind of facts, examples, keywords. For this, what I have done, I have made a complete list or complete paper wise keyword list, so that I can read those things and I can use those things during the examination, and it comes with the practice. So start thinking in those directions to make your answers good and to make your to enrich your answers, because in the end, if you are scoring one more mark in every question, then it is going to make a difference of 20 marks, and 20 into 4, that is going to be 80. 80 marks may put you in the top 100 or top 50, and 80 marks can kick you out of the list if you are not able to maintain those gaps. But it should be done in the last stage. First is that your whether you are able to complete your paper, and then whether your answer is structured, and whether you are able to address all the parts of question or not. So all in all, this was my main strategy in brief. Then coming to the interview, every stage is different, and it's not like you have to do it in the segregated manner, but every stage required some kind of special focus and some kind of tweaking in your strategy, because if you are preparing for prelims, it does not mean that you are also preparing for the main, you are also preparing for the mains. So for mains, you have to do a little extra, you have to put a lot of efforts also. Same comes with the interview. 4 5 points are there, like you should know what are the current issues, and make short notes about the current issues, and have some kind of opinion, balanced opinion. so that if those questions are going to be asked in your interview, then how you are handling those questions becomes very important, and it reflects your personality per se in the interview. Second thing is that most of the time what happens that in DAF 2 lot of people are writing a lot of things, and then they are not able to prepare those things during the time of interview, and when the interviewer caught them, and then they are not able to answer the questions or answer about the hobbies also that they have written in your DAF 2. So my personal advice is that you have to be very honest and make your DAF 2 very light and what you have really done. And if you have written something which you haven't done, then at least you should prepare those things thoroughly. That becomes very important. You have to be very thorough with your DAF. And third important point which helped me a lot is like practice through your peer groups, your friends. Like if they are available, you can ask them to have a mock interview of 25 to 30 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes, and you can ask them to ask random questions, how you're responding, how you are reacting to those random questions. Like it will make you more confident how you are able to handle the difficult situation during the time of interview. So it is also very important. The other thing is that the overall personality matters a lot. How you are sitting in the interview, how you are answering the questions, how you are responding to the question, not reacting, because react is a spontaneous phenomena. Responding means you are thinking what is being asked, and then you are applying your mind, then you are answering the question. So it is also very important. And the other point is that mocks becomes very important. I'm not suggesting you have to give lot of mocks, but if you are giving 2 or 3 mock interviews, then you will have a fair idea how the questions will be asked in the UPSC interview and what is the setup of the interview. And so all in all, you will get a feel of how you are going to perform in your interview. And sometimes don't take the suggestions or the feedback of the mock very seriously. You have to be very honest, and if they are saying something, then you at least you should think, okay, whether this is the really, whether I'm really liking about this thing or not, or whether I have to improve or not. So you have to apply your own mind. But if you are giving 2 or 3 marks, I don't think that it is going to harm you, but it is going to make you more confident. The last point which I want to make is that you have in interview, you have to be very honest and should sound very genuine, because the same thing that I am telling, sometime what happens, if you are written too many things in your DAF 2 and they are asking some question, and if you are not able to answer the basic question of which is related to your hobby, then it shows that you are not honest and you have written fake things which you are not really pursuing, or which is not related to you. So these things become very important. And don't think that if you are not able to answer 1 or 2 questions in the interview, or 5 or 6 questions in the interview, then your interview is going in the wrong direction, or you have not performed well in the interview. Because it happened with me, I was not able to answer 5 to 6 questions in the interview, and I was very disappointed. But luckily I got above average marks, which is 171 marks in the interview. So sometimes you don't know what thing the interviewer is liking, and what answers that you have given, what impact that answer has made on the panel. So this was my UPSC strategy in brief. I want to say one thing, like for every stage is very important, and every stage has to be tackled based on what kind of strategy or what kind of things are important in that particular stage. Like for prelims, you have to be very objective and you have to be analytical, or you should know how the elimination technique works. So same for mains, you should know how to write good answers, and what are the things which are important for enriching your answers, and what are the things which can give you more marks as compared to your peer group, or who are writing the mains exam. And same goes for the interview. If you are honest, if you are good at it, and if you are sounding logical, or your reasoning is logical, definitely you are going to do well in your interview. So thank you very much, and this was my entire strategy for UPSC preparation, though in brief. Thank you.